Hey guys. Hi. How you guys doing? Can you hear me? Boy, oh boy. Just ran on. I just finished a reading. So hi guys. How you doing? Hi. Let me just say hello to all you guys. Hi. Hi. Okay. So doing things a little different here today. I have a different setup. So I've got to get acclimated here. But I'm hoping it looks like you guys can hear me on um, Insta, right? I hope I paused my phone. I don't even know if I did. Let me see. Hi, you guys. Hi, Pat. How are you? Hi, Paula. How you guys doing? Hi, Chris. How's everyone doing? Hey, Bonnie. Hey, Melissa. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Michelle. How you guys all doing? Hey, Keisha. Hi, Ann. How you guys doing? Hi, Sarah. How you guys all doing? Hi. I love my Thursdays. Is connection okay? Can you guys hear me okay? Am I clear? Just give me some hearts or something. Just let me know. I can see hearts. It's hard for me to see words. So I just want to make sure you guys. Hey Ron, how are you, sweetheart? Thanks for coming on. I just want to make sure you guys can all hear me. Give me some thumbs ups or some hearts. Please just let me know that you can hear me, please. Yes, I can hear you. Okay, good. Hi, Michelle. How are you, sweetheart? Hi, Lisa. Hey, Evie. Hi, Lori. Hi, Veronica. Hey, Kim. How you guys all doing? So welcome. So here I am. It's Thursday again. Hope you guys are not sick of me. So tonight we're going to do a teachings from the guides. And I don't call them letters from Spirit because we did a book with a lot of the letters from COVID from that time we were in lockdown. So, but I do get channeled messages all the time from the guides, and so they're really kind of teachings, and so they're teachings from the guides, and that's kind of where I'm going with it today. Now, I had a different letter planned. I had a different teaching plan for you guys tonight. And I woke up yesterday morning with inspiration to read this particular teaching that I'm going to be doing tonight. So I had a brand new one, but this is the one I'm going to be playing with tonight because I woke up yesterday morning with that in my mind. I woke up with it, so I know that's spirit, and so I feel perhaps maybe somebody here that's chiming in needs to hear these words. This is a letter. It was a teaching from my Saturday sessions with Edgar that I do as a workshop. And it came from one of those. And I woke up with the desire to actually share that particular one. So obviously we're not going to do a whole workshop with it, but I do want to share the words because I was impressed to do it. And so I trust when I get a desire to go with it. And I hope you guys do too. So let me just say hi for a few more minutes and then I'm going to get going. Hi, Christine. Love your love pillow. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, can you see it okay? Yeah, let me see if I can move it a little bit more. You can see it. There you go. Yeah. So I have a different camera today, so it gives you a little bit of a smaller view, but I'm glad you could see it. Thank you. So, hey, Lori, how's it going? Hi, Joyce. Okay, guys, so we're going to get going in a minute. Hey, Jennifer. How you guys doing? So, hi, Chris. Hello to you too, sweetheart. So, okay, so we're going to get going with this letter, but a couple things first and foremost. I thought I'd share something fun. I'm trying to have fun. So I really want to start having kind of some more fun in my life. And so one of the things that I did today, which was kind of fun. Hi, Dina. One of the things that I did today. Hey, Gia. How's it going? How are you, honey? So I want you guys to hang tight because I think this is a really good teaching today. I think that I really loved this teaching from the guides, and so I hope you, sit back. I want you to be relaxed and comfortable. Kick your shoes off, get cozy, get yourself a little drink, a coffee or something. Actually, I wanted to make a coffee myself, and I didn't. I forgot. Anyway. I really take in the words that the guides have because, as you know, following Edgar, following my work with Edgar, you know that they're always about helping us be our best in our life and live our happiest, best life. And, so everything that they always say is always for our best and highest good always. And so know that everything is expressed with love. And today is no different. So I'm going to get going with this one in just a second, but I did something kind of fun today. I kind of took a little leap in the fun zone today, and I called a girlfriend and I said, hey, what do you say? You want to go to Disneyland with me next month? Because Disneyland's open again. And I thought, wouldn't that be fun to go to Disneyland and just, eat some naughty food and play and just kind of let life roll off us and just be in the happiest place on earth. So, and she's like, what? Really? And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. We'll throw on some shorts, a t-shirt. Let's go put on some tennis shoes and have a good day. So we made a plan for next month to go to Disneyland. And I thought, I'm kind of excited about that. I think she is too. So anyway, so I thought that's going to be fun. So we're going to do that next week because I'm going to be in California. Let's just see who else is here. So you guys should think about doing some things that kind of feel fun. You guys should think about what things you guys could be doing that would be fun for you. So I kind of thought about Disneyland this morning. So that's what I'm doing next month. So I scheduled a day off at the end of next month. And so we're going to do that. We're going to hang out. And I like going to that Blue Bayou restaurant, with all the twinkle lights. So we'll probably eat there if I can convince her to eat there with me. All right, so another thing is kind of fun I want to share with you, another fun thing that I'm just trying to play with and have some fun. So watch, I'll see if it works. So in my office, I triggered the lights with, I'll say the name in a minute because if I say it now, it'll already start going. But watch this. So I think this is fun. Alexa, meet Edgar.
Okay.
So every morning when I come into my office, I say that, and the lights turn off 50%. And so, because I get in here very early in the morning, and so I'm always kind of channeling, or I'm preparing for my day of readings or something like that. And so I always like to include Edgar in my work and in my readings because we're always kind of working together. So isn't that fun? I love it. So okay, so I thought that was kind of cute. So that was another fun little thing that I did, and I did that with Alexa. So you guys can do that if you have an Alexa at home too. You could do something like that. Hey, from Pennsylvania. Hey, Vicki. Where are you guys chiming in from, by the way? Hope you'll be in Ventura County again after July. I'll be out of state that time. Yeah. Oh, so let me just say, I am going to be doing in-person readings for Ventura County, Santa Clarita County, Los Angeles County, and Orange County. So I'm going to be there from the 16th to the 24th of July. I'll be there for a week, and I'm going to be doing in-person readings and small group readings in your home. So if you guys are interested and you're in Santa Clarita, Ventura County, Orange County, LA County, any of those counties I'll travel to for that week. And if you guys want to do an in-person one-on-one, it will be in Thousand Oaks. Or if you want to do a small group reading, I'll come to your home. Okay, so it's going to be July 16th to the 24th. And yes, Christine, I will be coming out again. It'll probably be in October. Okay, so it'll be my next round that I'll be out there. Most likely will be October, and I'll post it and let you guys know. All right. So anyway, so okay, so that's that. And let me just see here what else I just want to say. Oh, okay. Also, really quick. So this Saturday, I'm going to be doing my office warming party where I've invited you guys to come on board. And last week, as you know, I gave away 3 free seats to the event. I mean, the whole event's going to be free. But I gave 3 seats away on live. And then I said the next 7 people who email me, the first 7, I'm going to take, and we're going to have 10 people. We're going to gather, and I'm going to give readings. And I'm not guaranteeing a reading to everybody, but I'm just going to sit in, bring loved ones in, and just kind of just have a lovely, space, and just come on for an hour and kind of do that and get together where we can kind of see each other. And it'll be kind of fun because some of you guys that are coming on may not have seen each other face to face or on be able to interact with one another. So on Zoom, we're going to be able to do that. So that's kind of fun too, because some of you all have been, on my page for so long, and you guys kind of know each other and you know each other's names and things like that. So another way to kind of just build a community. But what I did, I was naughty. So what I did is I said, the next 7 emails that I get, to include 10 total, 3 that went online and then 7 emails, I ended up extending it because I just said, you know what, instead of doing the 7, I'm going to do the first 12. So I gave 12 seats from emails away in addition to the 3, so there'll be 15 of us joining. Now I want to make sure you guys know you got your email, so I just want to tell you guys who won. I'm just going to give you your first name, and then you can check your email box, because if I say your first name and you did not receive an email from me, I did send it out on Friday last week. I sent it out. Sometimes these emails land in junk folders or spam folders, and I would hate for you to miss that opportunity to come join us for a fun hour on Zoom. So I'm just going to give you your first name, and you guys won and you did not receive an email from me, then please check your junk folder, okay? So who won the seats was Patricia, Alexandra, Melissa, Gia, Erin, Pauline, Lindsay, Chris, Gabby, Sandy, another Chris. There's 2 Chris's, both with the letter K. Priscilla, Lori, Veronica, and Evie. So those are the 15 people that I gave seats to, and I just in order. So there was no favoritism or anything. It's just the first 3 that won online, and then I just gave the first 12 emails that I received, boom, 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 and I sent out emails. So, and you guys really seem to love this, and so I'll probably do this again. So stay tuned on my lives, and I'd love to give things away. I'd love to be able to, my way of just saying thank you for all of you guys following me and everything. So, okay, so we're gonna get going, and next week, first of all, I just want to say quickly that I'm going to be coming on next week and doing short stories. So I'm going to share a story or 2 from a reading or 2 that I have done, and we're going to talk a little bit about the spirit world, and also to have you help understand why messages come in the way they do. Because I always love to educate you guys when you have readings. I love to educate why Spirit gives this as information and why it's coming in the way it's coming in. And so I always like to educate a little bit when messages are coming in and the way the messages are coming in. And so I'm going to share a reading or 2 next week on Thursday. It's going to be July 1st, same time, 5 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Mountain time, 7 Central, and 8 p.m. Eastern. So that's always fun, and we're going to be able to, I'll take questions. Also, if you guys have questions about the spirit world or questions about mediumship or questions about, anything at all, that would be a great, time also to post some questions for me. I'll answer those for you next week on Thursday. So, okay, so that's next week, Thursday. It's going to be short stories. Okay, so, all right, and then we'll end tonight with a couple of quotes. I don't have a lot of quotes, but I've got a few. So I'll end with those. I forgot last week to do quotes, my bad. So, okay, so I have quotes. Let me just see if there's anything else I want to say really quick. Okay. Nope, I think I'm good. All right, so tonight's teaching is from the Guides, and it was from a workshop that I taught, Saturday Sessions with Edgar, and it's titled How to Increase Your Energy for More Emotional and Spiritual Well-Being. And it's really, really intelligent and super, I always find it so amazing how clever the guides are and practical. So they're so clever and they're so practical in how to get us to easily understand ways to uplift our energy, to have us feel better, to incorporate more joy in our life. And this letter really is about joy. It's about, this teaching is really about joy, and it's about having you understand how to position yourself. And so it's very clever how they use this. So I'm going to share this. I'm going to read it. I want you to think about your life. I want you to think about, as the words are being expressed, how it plays a role in your life. So please, please, please utilize this opportunity, this teaching, to kind of help build and bring awareness to yourself for your own energetic, for your own energy and for your own life, and in areas that you can use a little pivot. So, and then at the end, maybe I'll take some questions. I'll talk about some of your comments. Please post in the comments if you enjoy this teaching. Please post if it resonates. Please post if you have questions about it. Please throw me stars or hearts or whatever you want. Stars, hearts, or thumbs up or whatever if it's resonating, because I always want to make sure that it is touching you and helping you in a positive way. So I always love to know that, since we can't all chat like this because it's not Zoom. I do love to know that you're engaged and listening to the words and understanding the words, and it's resonating with you. So, okay. So thanks, guys, for being here. All right, so here we go. I'm going to read. It's kind of a couple pages, so let me just get on with that. And before I do, let me just make sure I'm not missing anybody saying something. Love your glasses. I like square. Thanks, Sarah. So do I. Thank you. I love them. I can see really well with these. Sarah's in Chicago. Hey. And Mary is saying hello. Hey, Mary. I'm so excited to get to join in, Melissa says. Wonderful. Thanks for being here. Michelle's in Pennsylvania. Michelle says, congratulations to everyone who got a seat. Hey, Gabby. Thanks for joining in again. And Lisa's in Orange, and Veronica's in Milwaukee. And let's see. Pennsylvania again. Let's see. Okay, perfect. Okay, good. So let's just kind of get going. Westlake Village. Okay, perfect. So let's just get going. All right, so here we go. I'm going to put my glasses on, feel into the words, listen to their teachings. And hey, Chris, how are you? How you guys doing? Hey, DJ Drama Mama. That's funny. How are you, sweetheart? Thanks, you guys, for joining. Okay. How to increase your energy for emotional and spiritual well-being. It is indeed a nice time to be here, once again, to share ways of allowing you to feel who you are. A collaboration like this, us coming together being in this way, expressing our words through her, you see, for you, with our intention always to lead you closer to a deeper knowing of who you are and what it is that brings joy to you. For it is true that your life here is to be joyful. And we say you have all experienced joy in your life. This is so. And as you allow yourself to feel into the memories, perhaps, of when you have had those experiences of joy, you will understand that joy is possible for you. There are those, of course, There are those, of course, who feel that joy is so far removed from them, not possible to have at all, to feel or to take part in. And we say joy sits within the absolute core of who you are. And it is why we wish you always to understand who you are and to move and merge yourself closer with that. But in life, many of you move and merge yourself actually away from that. You merge into what is uncomfortable, that doesn't feel joyful, and by default, you play there a little bit too long. And what today's lesson really is about helping you understand that joyfulness that is truly a part of you. And we understand that when you have had many experiences in your life that have taken you away from a feeling of joy, we understand that one can feel that there is no joy surrounding them. We understand. But what we wish you to understand is that joy is at the core of who you are. And the knowing of who you are will connect you back to that place of joy. There has been much focus in your life placed in areas where joy is not seen, where joy is not felt. Joy is a feeling that sits internally. Would you agree? Those moments of blissfulness that you have experienced in life, activities that have put smiles upon your face, that have kept that smile there for quite a while. You have experienced this, and although perhaps now your meter has been turned in a direction where perhaps joy is not quite felt, it does not mean that joy is not there. It means that you are directing yourself in an area away from what is the deeper part of you. And it is important for you here to understand this meter, this positioning that you place yourself in your life. Yes, that you place yourself in your life. And we understand circumstances occur in your life that may steal that feeling of joy from you. We understand. And it is also true that some of you learn best through the adversities. And it is sometimes through this feeling of not connecting with that joy is what in fact gets you to ask the questions, and you become aware that you have moved yourself away. You have taken yourself away from the positioning of where joy sits within you. And although circumstances occur, and through circumstances sometimes joy feels stolen, but it is also an indicator for you that allows you to recognize that the feelings within you are not feeling the way you would like, and it is now time for you to understand perhaps where you have placed yourself. So you can understand that joy is felt and expressed within the areas you place yourself and where you do not place yourself. So a visual we would like to give you here is solar panels. For you all know and understand what a solar panel is. It is a sheet of particle metal, for instance, that in order to function properly and to do what its job is, it must be strategically placed accurately, where the sun can shine upon it in the hours of the day that will fill that panel, you see, that will allow you to be able to take from that panel the energy that sits within it. Do you understand? Allow yourself for a moment to pretend a bit here, to pretend that you are a solar panel. We would like you to place yourself now, just closing your eyes for a moment, for this quick exercise to be a solar panel. And as a solar panel, you know and understand that the strategic placement must be positioned correctly, where the sun can allow itself to shine upon you for the strongest hours of each day and many hours of the day. And as it is placed here, strategically placed, in the right area where the sun can allow itself to beam upon the solar panel, the panel fills and the energy surges within it. And now within that solar panel, there is energy that can be used for your betterment. And for any of you who have solar panels on your homes, you know that there is great benefit to be filling these panels. And that the benefit of these panels will not be efficient if it is not positioned in a place where the sun can be focused and energy created for it. And when your panels are positioned accurately, you know there is benefit for you. It heats your swimming pools, keeps your lights on. It charges your vehicles in your garages. It can allow your home to run efficiently, free actually, when those panels are filled. Many of you do not walk your life as a charged solar panel. You place yourself momentarily, from time to time, every now and again. Your solar panel finds itself getting moments of charging, moments of filling, but not enough to allow the pool to stay warm, the lights in your yard in the evening on, or the lights in your home on whenever you wish. And what we want to say to you here, it is important for you to place yourself strategically where there can be a surge of energy that may fill you just like a solar panel. When a solar panel on your rooftop is placed in the area with no sun, those panels are of no use to you, for there is no energy being able to fill those panels for your betterment. And we say when you, a solar panel, are filled with the source energy of joy, you feel charged. And when your panel is charged, you walk through your day far more efficiently. Your home, your inner home, runs efficiently. For when your panel is constantly positioned in the area where energy is positively surging and charging, it is giving betterment to your home. And we say this is no different than your inner home. And if you can understand that in an exterior home, there is no value to owning solar panels if they are positioned on the side of your home, where shade is kept. Majority of the time, you see. And day in and day out, that panel cannot receive what it needs to service your home in the way that you want it to. And it is the very same thing. If you can think of yourself, your inner self, as a solar panel needing to be positioned in a place that allows that wonderful energy to fill you. That energy that fills you, it gives you enjoyment. It gives you energy to move and to do things for the day that you would not be able to do without it. If you have no action in your life and move within the things that give you joy, it prevents you, you see, of utilizing yourself to the fullest potential. You are a solar panel that needs to be charged, and many of you position and place yourself in areas where no sun shines upon you. And when we speak of sun, we speak of energy. And when we speak of energy, we speak about the activities that bring energy to you that feel better. And what we wish for you to understand is your position, your placement, that you give yourself each day matters. That every time you move with action that feels happy, that moves with action that feels joyful, that moves with an action where it allows you to feel your desire, that allows your purpose to surface, you are giving to yourself that inner solar panel, the energy to do more, to continue to run efficiently, to light up. And we wish you here to say, and we wish here just to say to you that it is a choice, even when you have had times that are hard, times that are rough, experiences that have put you on your knees. Yes, there are moments in life where you find yourself in the shade, and it is in those moments that you must recognize that you are in the shade. And it is your need now to position yourself back into the sun where you may be charged once again. Because we say that there are instances in life and experiences that in life can drain your energy, that can steal that energy from you. But when you are always positioned in a place where you feel charged, where you're positioned in an area where light can touch your solar panel, you see, you are always being charged. So in the moments when you are feeling not the energy, not the motivation, not the desires, not the enthusiasm, and not the will, we say it is merely your solar panel that has slid from the roof of where the sun is always shining upon it, and it has slid to the side of the home, the inner home, where there is only shade. And this is when the lights within you begin to dim, you see. Your inner house begins to not work as efficiently as it is meant to. And we like this analogy of a solar panel because it is simple for you to understand. You all know what it is. You all know the need of it to be placed in the sun to receive the energy that will power your home and car or your pool. And you know that without the sun shining upon it, it will not be able to serve the purpose that it is intended to do so for your life. You, your inner self, has a purpose. Each and every one of you have purpose. And your solar panel is needing to be charged so that you can walk your world doing what feels good to you. And to understand that each of your purposes will look different and will feel different, and that is quite lovely. But you may not function properly, just as your home will not function efficiently when the solar panels are not placed strategically to get the most sun per day. And your inner self will not function efficiently either when you are not positioning yourself where that power can illuminate you. And that power source will be different for each of you. And your work truly is to find what charges you. And within understanding and knowing what charges you is where you shall find the purpose you see. And although each of you are like a solar panel, each house has a different shape, a different size roof, each home placed strategically different, facing the sun. So evaluation must be made to know where the solar panels get placed on each of your homes. And it is the same for you innerly. It is for you to examine what and where that energy is for you to receive. That is your work. As the solar panel, you must always be wanting to be placed in the position that will give you the most energy, the highest wattage. And you'll find the wattage and the energy in the things that make you happiest. And that is your work. Do you see what we mean? When you can move through life, becoming aware of the things that you enjoy and the things that you do not enjoy, and stay positioned towards the things that you do enjoy, and you keep yourself away from the things that you do not enjoy, this, in fact, allows you to charge as well. And we wish you each always to have a fully charged inner solar panel that you may always draw from, and know that your inner home is always working efficiently. And to know and understand that whenever life is not moving in the direction that you want, and your emotions are not moving in the direction that you like, to understand your solar panel needs charging. And perhaps that solar panel within you has slipped into the shade and has fallen towards a placement that is not capable of being charged. And in that moment, you have a choice and a decision to maneuver that solar panel back to a placement where the charging can be at its optimal level for you. It is for you to know that placement of your optimal level. It is for you to take action to begin to discover what it is that you enjoy. And the layout, your inner roof within, is going to be different than the layout for another. Your blueprint is different. And we say within you, there is a blueprint. So for today, we just wish you to see the blueprint, not so much looking inside today, but to merely recognize the roof of the inner home of your blueprint, and to begin placing your panels in the direction that is of your wanting. For when you do this, energy will move to your panel, and by doing that, your panel will begin charging for you. And the more you pay attention to that, the more your panels stay charged, and the more your inner home will feel good to you. And when your inner home is feeling good and working efficiently, so shall your outer world. And the outer home that you find as you sit in the chair that you are in now, in the room that you are sitting in now, the outer world that you live in will function sufficiently as well, because your inner world will. So what we wish here for you today is to create the roof of your inner home. How many solar panels do you need? What are your comfortable amount of starting with? What is comfortable with starting here today to create the blueprint of your inner rooftop, and to start laying the solar panels strategically, please, placed in the right areas, so that energy, that beautiful light, can shine upon that panel and surge within you. We would like you to create, each of you, a panel and give it a name. That name can vary in topics: your work, your play, your home, your relationships, your hobbies, your activities, music, art. These are examples that each solar panel can be labeled. And as you take that solar panel, perhaps hobbies, what are some things that you can place yourself in the direction of that solar panel? And we say this now as an example. It is for you to place your panels in an area that brings energy for you and to you. This is not something someone else can do for you. This is something you must do for you. Because we say nobody knows you better than you know you. We are always wanting to help you realize this, you see, who you are. And we wish you to know this, that as you begin this exercise, understanding that these solar panels are in your control and you are in charge of where you position them for yourself. And to become mindful if you are strategically placing them in an area in your life that put a smile upon your face, that give enthusiasm when you think about it. By doing this, you will place your solar panels in an area that surges you, that places energy within you, that fills you up and allows you to function quite beautifully and lightly, we say. So So play with this exercise, creating solar panels for yourself. Title them, and then take a moment to create a blueprint and begin to place them in the perfect right area of your inner roof that will allow the sun to shine upon it. And know that you, within you, can hold much power. So as you create these solar panels for yourself, know it is quite lovely when you add upon your inner roof and place more solar panels, because as light fills you, your inner home grows. Your inner home expands, and therefore there will be a need for more panels, you see. And to know this is very perfect. Start today with as many solar panels as you feel comfortable to begin with. Perhaps you start with just one area. Perhaps you start with 2. It matters not how many panels you work with today, we say. It is just us wanting you to know that as you work with 1 panel or with 2, understand that by working those well and positioning those panels accurately, precisely, strategically, and placing it where the power can feed you, there will be need for more. Because within you holds much power, and we wish you always to be quite full, always surging through your day with that light that is you, with your light bright, always shining, your inner pool always warm, your car always charged. Yes? So we leave you here now just with an understanding of this way of seeing yourself, and a way in which you can begin seeing yourself, and the importance of placing yourself correctly in your life, in your day, where you will get the most light, and therefore you can be your brightest light, you see. And until next time, know there is always great love for you here. It is so. Edgar. Hi, guys. Thank you. Thanks for all my waves. So that was a letter. And what they really want to talk about here is what they're trying to talk about. Oh, let's just see here. Pat says, I was part of this Saturday sessions with Edgar where there was this topic. Made sense then, and it's even more clear months later. Wonderful. Thank you, Pat, because when I wake up in the morning and I get inspired to change something, I know there's a reason for it. And sometimes we receive information and we take bits and pieces of it, and then sometimes we need to hear it a few times, and then it resonates again differently, because also in our life we change a little bit, and what's going on in our life changes, and so then the words end up resonating even more powerfully or in different areas in our life, you see. So what they were talking about is solar panels, and they're talking about wanting you to see yourself as one, and understanding that what they're talking about is you being a solar panel, and knowing that it's so important that if you have a solar panel on your roof, it's about needing to make sure you're not going to get solar panels for your roof and they're going to stick it on the side of the house where it's shaded. No, they're looking for the optimal place on your roof that has the most amount of sun through the day. Why? Because it allows those solar panels to fill. It allows the energy to surge through those panels that you can use for your life in the areas that you want those panels, your electricity and all these things. And they say, and I thought it was so clever that they said, you're like a solar panel. Are you positioning yourself in an area that surges you? And we have to ask ourselves, do we place ourselves in an area in our life that brings happiness and joy to us? Because they're saying, like, have you slipped into the shade? And what they mean by that is, have you gone through life a little bit with doing things that feel fun and doing things, and then slowly you let that go, and then you're starting to not feel good about yourself. You're starting to kind of feel a little down. You don't have your motivation. You don't feel you have quite that energy within you. And what they're saying is, have you moved to the shade? Have you moved away from where energy lightens you up, where energy surges you? Joy, happiness. And they say that is your work, to find what makes you happy, what surges you, what gives energy to you. Because they say that as a panel, it's your job to position yourself strategically where happiness finds you, where joy finds you. You need to maneuver yourself to the areas in which you can get charged. And that could maybe be being with your grandchildren more. Maybe that means cooking more. If you used to love to cook and you stopped and you enjoyed it, maybe you need to get back into that. Maybe you stopped exercising, and when you did exercise, you were surged, and then you stopped, and now you slid into the shade. And now you're recognizing you don't feel quite the same. And maybe exercise is something, maybe that's a panel for you. Maybe exercise is a solar panel. Maybe being with your grandkids is a solar panel. Maybe being in the kitchen and cooking again because that lights you up. Maybe that's a solar panel. So they said there's many solar panels that could be labeled different things for you. It's for you to label your panel. But what they're saying is for you to have a happy exterior world, you need to have a happy internal world. And your internal world is the solar panel, and they're expressing that it's important for you to place yourself in your life and to be more focused and pay more attention and make yourself more of a priority of placing yourself in the areas in life that bring you happiness. And by doing that, you charge, you surge. And when you're doing that, you're running efficiently, you're happier. And when you're running efficiently and you're happier, your exterior world feels better too. Oftentimes our external world, our exterior world feels funk because we feel funk internally. We must always address internally first. So by working on this inner rooftop, look at your inner rooftop, and then you're going to say, okay, I've got this inner rooftop. This is this blueprint. The spirit world want me to pay attention to this blueprint, this inner roof. Here it is. Now I need to look at that roof and say, where is light bright for me in there? Where is light shining? What in my life makes me happy? Is it grandkids? Is it exercise? Is it reading more? Is it bubble baths? What is it for you? And just start. And they said start with one panel, start with two panels, start with whatever amount of panels, begin to label, but start figuring out you need to place these solar panels on your inner roof. These panels are labeled the things that give you joy and happiness. And then you need to place them, and then you need to do it. They say you must take action. You must have action towards your solar panels. And that is what's going to give the surge. There's no sense in having a solar panel if it's in the shade. So you need to place it in the sun, your inner sun. That's where your happiness and joy is. So think about it. Do you love to paint? Do you love to write? Do you love to garden? Do you love to cook? Have you moved away from some of these things? These don't have to be big things. They could be little things. But let's start with some panels today. Let's start thinking about what some of these panels are for you and how you can begin to take action towards surging some of those panels so you can get some energy moving that allows you to get motivation, that gets desires going, that gets smiles going, that gets you feeding yourself, you see, so you can step into your outer world more joyfully. Do you understand? What do you guys think about this? Melissa says, I'm in the shade and need to find my sun. So Melissa, if you don't know what it is, if you don't know right now what it is, where that sun is, how to position that panel, then start back in time. When do you remember doing something that did bring you joy? When do you remember doing something in life that you were happy doing, that you did get excited about? Because they talked about enthusiasm, about getting excited about things. And what was it that made you excited? So think back in your past, any of you. Think about your past. Think about, what did you used to do? If you don't know right now, if you feel lost for words at the moment, like, I don't even know what to label my panel, then begin thinking about, well, I remember in the past what my panel was. I know I used to do a whole lot more of XYZ, and I know I don't do that anymore, so maybe start there. Maybe if we don't know what surges us today because we've removed ourselves from our panels so much, then maybe start with something that you used to get surging from, that you used to get excitement from, and start there. That will lead you to more because that's energy moving. Because just by knowing, well, I know I used to like that, and maybe I won't love it as much now because maybe I'm a little different today than then, but it's a starting point. It's out of the gates. It's allowing you to at least try to position your panel somewhere where you know there was once sun, And you know, there's seasons in our life, and that sun changes courses, right? So the sun changes courses too. So there's going to be some times on your rooftop where there's going to be more sun than any time, other times, right? Certain seasons. And understand too, in our life we have seasons, and some things we used to love doing we may not love as much, but we still know that there's sun there. There's still energy there because you knew you used to like it, so you could start there, right? So that's what I recommend. Hi, Dawn. When my kids still needed me. Okay, your kids always need you. Your kids always need you. There is never when your kids don't need you. They may need you differently. You may need to show up with your adult kids now differently, but they always need you. There is never a time ever that a kid never needs their mom, ever. And I do readings all the time. I'm bringing moms, moms in and kids that are sitting with me, and they still need their mom, and they're 50, 60, and their mom is 80, 90, in the spirit world. We always miss our moms. We always need our moms. And in life, no matter how old your kids are, they still need you. They just need you differently. So you need to understand that you need to show up differently for your kids. Right? So your panel needs to be positioned on your inner roof a little bit differently. So start finding ways in which you are still needed by your kids, because you are. Let's see. Hi, Lindsay. Kim, twice this week I said out loud, this no longer brings me joy. I know exactly what I will name my first solar panel. Thanks, Edgar and Monica. Wonderful, Kim. Perfect. See, so I know, like I love the analogy. We all get solar panels, whether we have them or not. We know what they are, and we know how they work, and we know how they operate, whether we've got them or not. We know how it's about. So I love the analogy. They keep it simple for us. Edgar is never, ever trying to make things complicated for us. They always say, if we make it complicated, then we know that you won't do it. So we got to keep it easy, because really the guides, they want to help us forward. They want us to live joyfully, because if we're all living joyfully, we have elevated the world. We have elevated the energy of the world. Our world is low in energy. We need to lift it up. So the guides come in to help us all, to lift us up. And if we all lift up, we're all surging more. And when we're surging more, we're all happier. And then we're all nicer to each other, you see. So there's reasons for all this, right? By helping us, we help the world. By helping ourselves, we help the next person. While you do something, you inspire another person to do something, you see. And so it's a chain reaction. So, okay, so let me just see here. You're welcome, Dawn. Jennifer, I'm an alienated mother. They don't need me, obviously. It's torture. Well, I think you need to change a little bit about your words, darling Jennifer. Change your word. You're not alienated. They love you. But maybe the way we need to approach our kids as adults needs to be different than how we approach them as kids. And sometimes, and I'm guilty of it, sometimes we need to step back a little bit and say, sometimes I still treat them like they're 12 or they're 15, or I think, and I have to remind myself, they're grown adults living their life, thriving in life. They need me in a different way. Sometimes they just want us to be a sounding board, and they're not looking for us to give them always advice. And sometimes we put advice on them, and sometimes they don't want it, and then they back off, So we have to sometimes be aware that we need to show up to our kids differently. And then maybe that relationship will shift as well. You know what I mean? And I've been guilty of it, believe me. So, I've had to work on that myself. And Evie says, they're still going to need you. Stand by. That's true. Lindsay, you are an angel on this earth. Oh, thank you. I know, Dawn, it hurts. I know. Listen, it hurts, but then that's a panel you got to look at. So maybe you need to look at finding ways to reconnect with your kids in a different way. Maybe that is a panel that can start surging new energy. Start maybe thinking of things that you can do differently, how you can step into your relationship with your grown kids differently, because it changes, because they change, and how they need you changes, and what they need from us as mothers change. It's always going to change. We got to go with it. And sometimes we like to stay one way, and sometimes we have to be open to want to make changes in our own way of parenting. And I have had to do that myself. I've had to back way off also. And it was hard, and it did hurt. and I understand. But I know that your relationship with your kids can always be a wonderful one. We just have to show up sometimes differently and allow them space. Okay, let's see. You're welcome, Dawn. And I love you, girl. Listen, and I'm speaking from experience. I've had it happen to me. So, I know that sometimes I needed to change how I approach my kids and back off. And sometimes anyway, so just think about that. That's a tough age. Hang in there, Gia says. Let's see. Melissa says, I used to love doing crafts with my mom. When she passed, I couldn't even go in a craft store without crying. Haven't done crafts since. Maybe it's time to start. And maybe your mom will come sit with you from the spirit world. Don't be surprised. Oftentimes they end up doing, as you start doing things again that you used to do with them, they join in. So know that sometimes a wonderful way to kind of reconnect with your mom is to get back into doing the things that gave you joy when you were doing it with her. So sometimes the one thing you're avoiding is the one thing you need to bring back, and maybe that needs to be your panel. So think about that one, darling. Music can take you back. Yes, Sarah, that's true. Marilyn says she's also in the shade. So, listen, what we just have to realize is that sometimes unknowingly we place ourselves there. Sometimes, yes, things happen in life and it could place us there a little bit, but it's for us to recognize we're there. Like Edgar says, it is for you to recognize when you begin to feel different, when you begin to feel off, when you begin to not feel yourself, when you feel not right within you, that there's something not feeling good about you. Understand that is your solar panel slipping to the shade, and that is your indicator. It's time to pay attention to your rooftop, your inner rooftop. And it's time for you now to say, I need to add a few more solar panels. Maybe the sun is shifting a little bit in the season of my life right now, and I need to adjust and maybe add a few other panels to my inner roof. Make sense? And try incorporating some new panels with new labels, and try some of that as you work through some of the other stuff. Let's see. Evie, finding our best solar energy from the external world. Yeah, but listen, life is always working for us, not against us. And, life is always trying to show us ways where we can have wonderful experiences. We have to show up for those, and we have to take action towards those experiences that life gives us, that life brings us. And although life can also bring us hard times, it also will bring us good times and good experiences and things that we can look at, and experiences that we can look at to maybe give a try to kind of help surge our panels. So, are we eyes wide open, paying attention to things that are showing up in our life? Are we acting upon those things and understanding, hey, maybe that's a solar panel for me. Maybe that's something that might give it a try. Have some enthusiasm to try some new things. So let's just see. What a great analogy to make this clear. Thank you, Debbie. Yes, I think Edgar is lovely at doing that. Sarah, back in this session, I didn't think it would work. I was so doubtful, but it did work. Wonderful. Yes, Sarah went to one of my Saturday sessions with Edgar, and this was one of the topics. And although we had a full workshop with it, I'm trying to keep it a little bit simpler here. But right, it will work. Whenever you put focus and attention on what feels good to you, it will work. And you have to ask yourself, when you're removing yourself from doing things that feel good and that you love doing and that you enjoy doing, it doesn't feel good. Right? So when you keep yourself from it, it doesn't feel good. And when you put attention to it and you take action and do it, it does feel good. So that action towards doing what feels good to you and exciting to you, and new things too, and old things that you used to do, incorporate some of that in again, Start creating your panels. Start paying attention to where maybe you have not spent time. And maybe, just maybe, you're going to find some surging in those areas if you put them back on your inner roof. Hi, guys. Thanks, Thanks for all of my waves. Thank you. Let me just see if you guys have anything to say here. Let's see. Choosing joy is a choice. Exactly, Pat. perfect. It absolutely is. Happiness is an inside job, and joy is a choice. Chris says it makes so much sense, but sometimes it's hard to try the smallest things to get me going. But you know what? Do it anyway. Because sometimes when we're trying to find transformation in our life and trying to find happiness, we get a little stuck in a rut. And sometimes that rut can feel deep, right? And that's when we need to work harder. That's when we have to say, listen, something that I'm doing in my life is not working for me. Something that I'm missing something in my life. I am lacking things in my life that is keeping joy from me. I need to be aware of that, and I need to make the changes to do it. And when you make those changes and you say, Chris, it's sometimes hard to do, you can also just say, yeah, maybe it's hard to do, but it's not impossible to do. Sometimes we make excuses for ourselves, and we can't do that when it comes to our joy and our happiness and our betterment, and we need to make ourselves priority. I often say to clients, we sometimes need to put ourselves at the front of the line because we've spent a lot of time putting us at the back of the line, and we need to sometimes go to the front of the line and make ourselves a priority and pay attention to where these solar panels on our inner roof need to be placed properly and start doing it. Because we have to take action, and you need to have some discipline. You know, you got to have some discipline. You got to sit there and say, today's the day. Enough's enough. I'm not going to go another day without having joy. I'm not going to go another day feeling funky or off and not myself. I'm going to find my solar panels. And maybe I'll start with one or two, but I'll start. And that's a beginning out of the gates for you. So if it's overwhelming, then just start with one panel, one thing. What would that be for you? And start there. Let's see, what else? Evie says, perfect message tonight. Sarah says, do this work. It really does. I was in this session. Dawn says, so crazy. I was just crying earlier to my friend that I am so tired of having to do things I hate rather than things I am passionate about. What'd I tell you? Whenever I wake up in the morning and I have a desire to go in another direction, I go. Whenever you have a desire to do something that feels good, you should do it. You should do it. If you're sitting here saying, I'm tired of doing things that don't make me happy, you are your own boss. You are your own manager. You have to ask yourself, how are you managing yourself? If you're the technician with your solar panels, why are you placing them in the shade? You're doing that. You don't have to. You could choose today to do it differently. So label a panel or two. Do the exercise they said. Label a panel or two. They don't care how many panels you begin with, only that you begin. Because that will get you out of the gates, and that'll start surging energy already. And even one panel or two panels will start surging you, and you'll begin to build energy within you, and that will require you to want more. That's what they said. The more you do, the more you're going to want. And think about what a life that would be when you were so supercharged. When you are so energetically lifted that everything you look at, you see as possibility, and everything that you touch, you get excited about, and all the things that you begin to see in your experience becomes exciting to you. That is what happens when you have a charged solar panel. That is what happens. And it's time to begin to feel that way. And Edgar has come in through the Letters from Spirit book in hundreds of different ways, talking about enthusiasm, talking about curiosity, talking about learning to forgive, talking about all these different things they keep talking about, how to change your thoughts patterns, everything is about helping you surge. Everything they speak about is about helping you surge, to connect with that light that's within you and allow it to illuminate you. And when you begin to get started, it's going to illuminate. And you're going to illuminate. And then everything you touch and meet and people you do and conversations you have, it's all just going to light you up because you are no longer not even an inch in the shade. And you won't even remember what that feels like because you are so sunbeamed with positive energy. But you can't have that positive energy if you are not allowing yourself the right to have it, the choice to get it, to go after it. That's on you. That's all you. And you can do that. You've got the ability. And there's so many things that life gives us that we can start from. We can pick, choose. It's a full pantry of different things that you can play with. And I recommend you try. because I know it feels real good to live with a surge inner panel. What do you guys think? Let's see here. Juliana says beautiful. Let's see here. Where are we? Hi, Sadhna. Chris says, you make it sound so simple. Why is it so hard? It's not hard. Edgar says all the time, they keep it simple for a reason. What do they say? We try to give analogies that are easy for you to identify with, because if it's hard to identify, you're not going to do it. So they purposely come up with these easy ways for us all to understand, a way that makes it so like, that makes sense. That's easy. I get that. And then from that place, we can take a chance. So what is so hard, darling? What is so hard? Why is it so hard to want to do something that feels good for you? Let me ask any of you. Why would you find it so hard to want to do something that feels good for you, that is good for your betterment, that is good for your soul? Why? Why would you even allow something to be hard? Think about that. You never want to do that. It's not hard. It's just about taking action, really. It's really just about taking action. It's about taking action steps. It's about moving forward in the direction of where the sun is. When you lay out, right? When you lay out, don't you lay out when you want to lay out? I think I've used this. I don't know if I used this in a workshop or they just gave this to me. The guides are with me, by the way. They just gave this to me. I must have used this in a workshop that they must have given as another analogy, because they just gave it to me again. And they say, when you go and you position, when you go to the beach, you lay out, or you go to the pool and you lay out, don't you look, where's the sun? And don't you strategically place yourself in alignment with the sun to get the maximum suntan? Yes, you do. You do that. It's the same thing. Why are you not walking out your front door every single day saying, I'm looking for my sunshine today? And by that intention alone will help you find it. That intention alone will allow you to play and experiences come your way that you could try to see if in fact this does make me happy. This in fact does give me some joy. By just making the intent to look for your sunshine. Find your placement in your day. We don't have to talk about where you are in a year. We just need to talk about where you are today, where you are tomorrow morning. We sometimes get ourselves so far ahead of ourselves, and that causes us also, Chris, to keep us from doing it, because it makes it hard, because it overwhelms us. That we think that it's an overwhelming task because, we need to be this, or we need to show up like this, or it needs to look like this, or we need to be here already in our life. And no, we only need to focus on where the sun sits for us today. As you step out your door tomorrow, where is the sun going to find me today? I am going to look for it. That intention will help you find it. And it's really as simple as that. What do you think? What do you guys think about that? You did use that analogy, right? I think because they gave it to me. I was like, oh, they gave it to me, so I must have used it in a workshop, right? Not a fully love your soul. Okay, sometimes unconsciously we block on our solar panels by fears. Yes, we do. And I did a whole Facebook Live on fears. If you guys remember, if you guys want to rewatch that, go to my website, go to my video page of my website, monicaturlings.com. I did a whole Facebook Live on fears and how they're all big fat liars. Fear is nothing but a lie. Unless you're being chased by lions and gorillas, you got really nothing to be afraid of. Everything is man-made. You're making those fears up in your mind. But yes, fear can feel very real, but 90% of the time, 95% of the time, 98% of the time, there's nothing really to fear. When you face it is when the fear leaves and your joy steps in. And that's the truth. But you got to be willing to love yourself enough to want joy and happiness in your life. So today, the guides gave you a lovely little analogy to play with. And I felt it to be very resonating. I love the easy analogies that they give us. So I hope today you enjoyed this and you enjoyed today's talk. At times you are struggling and you just don't have the strength. Okay, and it's okay. Listen, I always say, and it's okay, sometimes you struggle and you don't have the strength. That's real. Those are real feelings, yes. We've all been there. You're not alone. We've all had moments of struggle. We've all had moments where it took a lot of energy to get off the couch. But let me just tell you, you got off the couch. That even if it's hard, you have still gotten through the day. So bravo to you. If you step slower, that's okay, as long as you're stepping. As long as you're moving towards the sunlight, if you don't make it there in the first, that's okay. As long as you're getting up, you're trying, and you're moving that direction. But as long as you're moving in that direction and your intention is to do that, you're good. Give yourself permission to understand that sometimes these struggles are real, and they do hurt, and they are hard. But within you, you have everything to overcome them. Because within every struggle is also your strength waiting to be identified. And that is the truth. Every struggle comes with your strength. Every problem also has a solution. You don't get one without the other. But we have to be willing to look for that. We have to be willing to not get lost in the struggle and to search more for the strength. Does that make sense? And even if you just do baby steps, it's still steps. It's still steps. So start where you're at and move at the pace you're comfortable with, but move. Yeah? And know your struggle comes with strength. And that struggle is for you to find that strength. We never get anything without a reason. We never get anything that we don't have something within us to help teach us something more about what is within us. Again, we're always trying to understand ourselves more. And through pain and through struggle and through hardship, there is more within us that we need to uncover. Because there is more strength within us that we hadn't up until that point tapped into. But you are strong. And you are capable. So, I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. And I hope you enjoyed the letter. I hope you enjoyed the talk. I hope you resonated with some of the words and you allow them to percolate. You can rewatch this live again if you want to hear it again. Sometimes it helps to hear it a few times, you know. Next week, I'm going to come on with short stories, and I'm going to, share some stories, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the spirit world and take your questions and talk a little bit about the spirit world and loved ones and all that. So I'm going to do that next week, Thursday, July 1st at 5 o'clock Pacific time, okay? 6 o'clock Mountain Time, 7 o'clock Central, and 8 o'clock Eastern. So I hope you guys will join me for a lovely, lovely night with sharing spirit messages. And for all of you that are going to be joining me this Saturday, there's 15 of you that I've invited to join just from the first 15 that one. I'm looking to have a nice hour together and have some fun. I'm looking forward to it. So that'll be 12 o'clock Pacific time this Saturday. If you didn't get your Zoom link, check your junk folder if you were one of the names that I mentioned earlier in today's live. And thanks you guys so much. You guys have any final words? Thanks, Pat. Hi, Bella. Thank you so much. Pat's going to see me Saturday. Wonderful. Let's just see where we all are. You're welcome, Erin. Thanks, Sarah. Hi, Sally. Hey, Lori. Glad you liked the message. Hi, you guys. Thank you so much. I'm glad you guys enjoyed. Smart girl. Lindsay Hoot said, my daughter just caught a firefly, and she said, this is what that nice lady is talking about, Mom. Oh, I'll tell her. You know what? Edgar, in my book, Letters from Spirit, one of my channeled sessions with them before I got into the letters, and the first 3 sessions of that book is their personal channel letters to me as they were talking about our work together. They talked about me being a firefly. So that's really cute that your daughter said that. It's in one of the sessions of Letters from Spirit book. So lovely. That's so cute. Thank you for that reminder for me. Tell her thank you for reminding me of that. I love it. Thank you so much. So you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you guys, some of you on Saturday. I'll see you guys next week if you want to join me. And love and light to all of you, and always know that I always come from a place of love for you guys, okay? So just know I always come with my greatest intention to help you in any way that I possibly can, through the channeling letters, through just our talk. Oh, I have quotes. Sorry, I almost forgot quotes again. OMG. Did I almost do that again? What the heck? Okay, here's quotes. So I just have a couple, okay? And it is, so here's quote number one that has to do with the channeled session. Joy is the serious business of heaven. C.S. Lewis. Focusing on one thing that you are grateful for increases the energy of gratitude and rises the joy inside yourself. Oprah Winfrey. The higher your energy level, the more efficient your body. The more efficient your body, the better you feel, and the more you will use your talent to produce outstanding results. Tony Robbins. And the last one is from Helen Keller. Keep your face in the sunshine, and you cannot see a shadow. So those are a couple of quotes that you guys can kind of feel into a little bit. You know, I love quotes. So until next time, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I always love hanging out with you guys, and I love you all to pieces. Thank you so much. And until next week, or until I see you again, or until I see you for a reading, or any of that, or any of those, I just wish you so much joy and happiness. And until next time, see you later.